Congresswoman Escobar.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to the members of the committee. I can't believe that we are here talking about this. And it is a very sad state of affairs, not just for the Congress, but for our country, that we work in an environment where there is an unwillingness to protect the people who serve in that environment. I was in the gallery on January 6th with some of the members of this committee as the terrorists tried to break in, and thankfully we were able to escape before they made their way in. And I really shudder to think of what would have happened had we still been in there when they made their way in. That was not my first experience with the power of words and the power of imagery when fueling violence. My community of El Paso, Texas, on August 3rd, lived through a terrorist attack that was fueled by a lot of hate and by xenophobia. And both of those things are in this video that Mr. Gosar and his team put up for public consumption using public resources in order to, I don't know if it was to create harm, if it was to incite violence, if it was to fuel hate, but it probably accomplished all of those things. We have an obligation to live up to the highest standards possible, but also to hold each other up to those standards. If we don't do it, then what we are doing is allowing for a new norm to be created. And I don't know about you, but allowing this to become the norm on our watch would be one of the worst things that could happen, I think, for any of us as public servants, to look back and to say that we stood silent while violence was being inspired using public resources, a public servant, and that fellow public servants looked the other way. We absolutely cannot look the other way. I support this resolution. I think it's very important that we all stand firm and set a standard for one another. This isn't just about Representative Ocasio-Cortez, although I do think it says something very frightening and jarring that women of color in Congress frequently are targeted. But this should be about setting a standard where we demand that we are protected and that we will stand not for a new norm, but that we will stand for one another so that we can work together in a place called the People's House. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.